Welcome to our short stories. Sit back and enjoy a brief tale crafted just for you, filled with rich vocabulary and elegant phrasing. BYE Boost Your English Episode 4, The Invisible Bridge. Hello, dear listeners, and welcome back to BYE Boost Your English. In the bustling town of Inverness, often called the capital of the Highlands, there lived a skilled craftsman named Alastair. Alastair was a master clockmaker by trade, but his true passion was the study of causality. He firmly rejected the notion of chance or fate, viewing the world as an unbroken series of actions and outcomes, which he referred to simply as the invisible bridge. Alastair belonged to the Fraser clan, a history that taught him the value of manual labor and the oral tradition through which knowledge was passed down. One stormy autumn afternoon, while Alastair was tending to a large, ancient public clock mounted near the old stone bridge, he noticed an anomaly. Every day, precisely at 3:04 p.m., the mechanism would halt for exactly 3 seconds before resuming. His colleagues, content in their inherited complacency, dismissed it as a fatal coincidence or capricious wear and tear. Alastair, however, rejected this lazy explanation. He meticulously studied the clock's assembly, its environment, and even the weather patterns. After 2 weeks of careful observation, he concluded that the stoppage was not rooted in the clock itself, but in a subtle external vibration. At 3:04 p.m., the heavy stagecoach, pulling the mail and goods from the south, would cross the main stone bridge. The substantial load, combined with a particular unseen weak point in the bridge's masonry, created a precise microshockwave. This wave traveled up the mounting pillar and momentarily locked the clock's escape wheel. The day he presented his finding, the precise source of the daily halt, his colleagues, disturbed in their comfortable fatalism, laughed at his stubbornness. Alastair just smiled. There was no good luck or bad luck. There were only results stemming from forces that, once understood and mapped out, could be mastered. The next day, Alastair, using a technique learned from his grandfather through oral teaching, adjusted a tiny brass fulcrum in the mechanism. The heavy stagecoach passed at 3:04 p.m. The clock continued to tick, without the slightest hesitation. The invisible bridge had been deciphered, and order had been restored by the sheer application of logic. Key vocabulary and expressions explained. Bustling, full of activity, busy and lively. Example: the market square was bustling with shoppers and street vendors early on Saturday morning. Craftsman, a person who is skilled in a particular craft. Example: the antique table was clearly the work of a master craftsman, the detail was exquisite. Causality, the relationship between cause and effect. Example: scientists are studying the causality between pollution and the decline in bee populations. Unbroken series, a continuous sequence with no gaps or interruptions. Example: his career has been an unbroken series of successes and promotions over 20 years. Oral tradition, the practice of passing down cultural or historical information by word of mouth. Example: many ancient myths and legends were preserved for centuries through oral tradition. To tend to look after or take care of something. Example: a gardener must tend to his plants daily to ensure they are healthy and well watered. Mounted, fixed or supported on something, usually a wall or a stand. Example: the large flat-screen television was mounted on the wall above the fireplace. Anomaly, something that deviates from what is standard, normal, or expected. Example: the low sales figures this quarter represent an anomaly in an otherwise profitable year. To halt, to stop abruptly. Example: the train was forced to halt suddenly due to an unexpected obstacle on the tracks. Inherited complacency, a feeling of smug or uncritical satisfaction with one's achievements or situation, received from predecessors. Example: they dismissed the warning signs with an inherited complacency, believing nothing bad could ever happen to their company. Fatal coincidence, an accidental event, regarded as predetermined or unavoidable, leading to a negative outcome. Example: the collapse of the old building was put down to a fatal coincidence of high winds and old age. Capricious, given to sudden and unaccountable changes of mood or behavior, unpredictable. Example: the weather in the mountains can be quite capricious, changing from sun to snow in minutes. Wear and tear, damage or deterioration resulting from ordinary use. Example: after 10 years of daily use, the machinery finally broke down due to normal wear and tear. Subtle, so delicate or precise as to be difficult to analyze or describe. Example: there was a subtle difference in flavor between the two wines, barely noticeable. To decipher, to succeed in understanding, interpreting, or identifying something. Example: the spy managed to decipher the secret code after many hours of concentrated work. Fulcrum, the point on which a lever rests or is supported and on which it pivots, used here figuratively as a critical point. Example: changing this single small component was the fulcrum upon which the whole machine's operation rested. Sheer application, the straightforward, simple, or absolute use of something. Here, logic. Example, the problem was solved not by luck, but by the sheer application of critical thinking and effort. What a wonderful journey to Inverness and into the mind of Alastair. The story of the invisible bridge is a powerful reminder that what appears to be random or unavoidable often yields to logic and precise observation. There is no fate in mastery, only method. The lesson for us is simple: when it comes to English, don't dismiss those tricky grammar points or confusing expressions as fatal coincidences. Instead, be an Alastair. Look closer, identify the microshockwave, the specific rule or context that causes the momentary halt in your fluency. Once you find that fulcrum, you can adjust it, and your English will continue to tick, unbroken. Thank you for joining us today. Keep observing, keep questioning, and keep applying that same logic to your learning journey. Keep pushing your boundaries and challenging yourself. Now that the comments are open on YouTube, we would love to hear from you. Please share your thoughts, ideas, and requests in the comment section below. Let's keep our discussion constructive and respectful. Thank you for joining us on BYE Boost Your English. Keep boosting your English. Bye for now.
Boost your English, it's the key. Listen to